Hello, and welcome to this UW-Madison custodial back safety presentation. This presentation will focus on back safety for tasks involving the collection and disposal of trash and recycling. At first thought, this may appear to be a straightforward task, but upon further consideration, it becomes evident that there are hazards involved, and therefore, it is important to follow safe work practices in order to prevent accidents and injuries. Trash and recycling collection is a widely variable task that includes cleaning up trash and recyclables from the tables and floors, emptying large common use receptacles filled with varying materials such as trash, newspapers, plastic, and glass bottles, collecting and collating individual office and laboratory trash and recycling containers, and moving trash and recycling to a collection site, such as a dumpster for final disposal. All of these tasks contain potential risks and hazards. Understanding the potential risks and using safe work practices to avoid injury is an important first step. Using proper techniques and tools to safely complete the task is equally as important. It is always important to wear appropriate personal protective equipment when handling trash and recycling. If you are lifting heavy bags and containers, you may also consider using a supportive back belt. Talk with your physician to determine whether or not a back belt is right for you. Disposable gloves should be worn when collecting trash. You never know what you might find in the trash, so it is important to protect your hands during collection and removal. Proper footwear is also an important consideration. Closed-toed shoes with good support and traction are essential. In addition to personal protective equipment, proper tools are also essential. Carts and dollies are important to help move trash from one location to another without having to carry the back-straining weight. An extension reacher can also assist in picking up trash from the floor without having to bend over or squat down. Finally, it is always better to start a task after you have warmed up and stretched your muscles. Before you start any physically challenging activity, take a few moments to stretch and prepare for the work. A few simple and effective stretches include the shoulder shrug, which may help reduce upper back and neck discomfort. The mid-back stretch may help reduce fatigue between the shoulder blades. The hamstring stretch may help reduce lower back discomfort. Finally, the standing back bend may help reduce lower back discomfort. There are a couple options available to safely pick up trash off the floor. One way is to use a lifting technique called the golfer's lift. This safe lifting technique minimizes bending and helps keep your back in proper alignment. Another technique is to use a mechanical device such as an extension reacher. This extended grabbing device eliminates the need to bend over. When removing trash bags from large, common area receptacles, be sure to get a firm grip on the bag and use a wide stance with your feet to support the weight. Before you lift, try to determine the weight of the trash by lifting slowly on the bag. Different types of trash and recycling have different weights. Once you determine the amount of weight, lift slowly and consistently with your arms and legs. Bend at your knees and keep your back straight. Once the bag is out of the container, place it in a cart for safe transport. When removing trash and recycling from offices or labs, many of the same procedures apply. These containers are usually smaller, but the weight can vary depending on the material inside. Many times, these types of containers are in cubicles and under desks, which may make them more difficult to reach and remove. If you must bend to reach a container, bend with your knees, not your back. Even though these containers weigh less, repetitive bending alone may stress lower back muscles. So squat down to pick up smaller office trash containers. Lift them with your legs and dump trash bags or recyclables into your rolling barrel or the larger waste bag on your cart. Another item that is frequently left out for collection is cardboard. Cardboard boxes are often left out near trash containers for removal and recycling. If not already broken down, it may be the responsibility of the custodian to do so. To break down cardboard boxes, bring them up to your waist level. Set them on a table or platform. This prevents the need to bend and reach over the box at the floor level. Once broken down, they should be placed into a cart for safe transport. Be sure to speak with your supervisor about proper techniques and tools for breaking down cardboard boxes. When taking a load to the dumpster, be careful not to overload your cart. Overloaded carts can be very heavy and may obstruct your view. When transporting trash in a cart or rolling barrel, use caution and proper body mechanics. Plan a clear path and watch where you are going, and push the cart instead of pulling it whenever possible. Pushing a load is easier on the back than pulling is. Pay attention to uneven surfaces and slow down when rolling over thresholds and flooring changes. Try to avoid moving trash up and down stairs whenever possible. Instead, use a cart and an elevator if available. If you must carry trash up or down stairs, minimize the load. Break up larger trash into smaller portions and use proper body mechanics. Once you have successfully moved the trash from the receptacle to the dumpster location, consider the potential risks of this final portion of your task. Dumpsters are usually located outdoors. Check weather conditions and surface areas for wet, icy, and slippery spots. Avoid using steps whenever possible. Try to use a ground floor door, a ramp, or a lift instead when moving waste from the building to the dumpster. If you must use steps due to the building's design, lessen the load and watch your step. When using a ramp, make sure you have secure footing and good traction shoes. Position your body to support the weight and control the cart. If using a lift, make sure you understand how to properly operate the lift to avoid injury. Ask your supervisor for assistance if needed. Once at the dumpster, position your body facing the item you are going to lift and use your legs and arms to lift the item. Keep a neutral position in your back. Lift one item at a time. Pivot with your feet rather than twisting your spine to hoist the item into the dumpster. Finally, it is important to understand that even when we are safety conscious and follow safe work practices, accidents may still occur. It is important that if you ever injure your back while performing your job, that you report it to your supervisor as soon as possible. Your supervisor will have the proper paperwork for you to fill out so that the injury is recorded, and so that you can go to the doctor if a medical evaluation is necessary. With any injury, if you feel that it warrants a medical evaluation, go to your doctor or emergency room. Always be sure to indicate to your provider that the injury was job-related. As we have discussed so far in this presentation, trash and recycling removal requires proper preparation, tools, and techniques. Let's review some important highlights. Avoid bending your back, even when picking up light objects. When removing large trash and recycling bags from common area receptacles, determine the weight of each bag by testing it before lifting. Bend at your knees, lift with your legs and arms, and keep your back straight. When collecting trash and recycling from small office and lab rooms, squat down to the level of the receptacle, keeping your back straight. Avoid bending and reaching around office equipment, and alternate hands whenever possible. If you must break down cardboard boxes, do it at the waist level and transport them in a cart. Avoid carrying trash bags over long distances. Use a cart to transport trash bags. Push carts rather than pulling them. Pushing is easier on your back. Use caution and proper body mechanics when moving trash out to the dumpster. And finally, report all injuries as soon as possible to your supervisor. Much of the information discussed in this presentation is provided in further detail in the Custodial Back Safety Handbook, which is available online. Thank you for your participation.